Hello and welcome to Convinced Catholicism, a place for all things Catholic. Today I have the new St. Joseph People's Prayerbook. This is a book by Catholic Book Publishing Corporation, and this idea came to me from a review that Dale in a Tin Can did, and he suggested to me that I take a closer look at the liturgical sections of the book. And I'm going to look at more than just that. I do highly recommend that you watch Dale's video, as it is the one that I am basing this one off of. But I'm going to say that this is a mixed bag. I would feel a lot more comfortable using this book on a regular basis if it had certain offerings and did not have ones in this book. So I would say if I were to give this, 5 out of 5 stars, I would say it's like a 3 out of 5. But I don't use that rating system. But anyway, the book is almost 5 inches wide, almost 7 inches tall, and just about an inch and we'll call it a quarter thick. The book, is divided into sections, or maybe even we can call it separate books. And I find this a little bit, I find it to be well-intentioned, but a little bit pointless. 1, prayers from the Bible. 2, prayers from the liturgy. Prayers from the Enchiridion of indulgences. Prayers from the saints and spiritual writers. Prayers from other religions, which is, I would say, I don't like it overall. Prayers in accord with the church year. Prayers to the Blessed Trinity. Prayers to favorite saints. Prayers for various occasions. Prayers based on various relationships. Prayers for popular devotions. Prayer blessings. This has the classic Catholic book art. It also has a nihil obstat and an imprimatur. And we can see here that this printing is from 2016. So it's recent, and I want you to keep that in mind. Preface, we won't get too much into that, but we can see here prayers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the way that this goes is that they number the prayers, which I find to be confusing sometimes. Okay, so if we take a look at, we'll see what I'm talking about, right? Prayer of Moses, 1. So this is a canticle. All these here are canticles. Okay, we see where they come from, or at least they could be categorized as canticles, right? Songs from the Bible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, etc., etc. And then we can see that it goes through different canticles, which I think is nice. I am a fan of canticles, as everyone who practices liturgical prayer should be. And then we have the Psalms, and this is where things get confusing. So if you weren't paying close enough attention to the numbering sequence, you might think that this is Psalm 23, though this is evidently Psalm 1. And then it comes up with this very post-Vatican II psalm prayer. And I didn't check if this is the same as the one in the Christian prayer or liturgy of the hours, but it's the same concept. And And then you might think that's Psalm 24, but no, it's Psalm 4, and then so forth and so on, right? And then a prayer for divine assistance, it's Psalm 5. But, you get a good number of psalms in here. And then we have these prayers. I do not like these psalm prayers. Others do. Catholic churches, or I should say the church, is on its way of phasing them out in a way. Or at least that's what I've heard. I'm not someone confirm in the comments. I do know that they're optional. But we can see here that it has a good number of psalms. And it goes somewhere between 1 and 150. Not all 150 psalms are in here. Would I have liked for there to be all 150 psalms? You know me, absolutely. But I'll take what I can get. Prayers of Jesus. So this is where we see different prayers, quotes from Jesus in the Gospels, right? So that's very nice. Prayers of the church. Other Bible passages, right? Other canticles, I suppose, right? So let's skip a little bit here. And we can see here the different liturgies, right? So this is a book that you can bring to Mass to some extent. It's not going to have all the propers, but we see here the order of the Mass, and we see here sign of the cross, a greeting. We can have the penitential, Gloria, has all the words of the Mass. Then we have the four rites of the Eucharist, right? So your priest, when he is offering the Eucharist, he will pick from one of these four. And we have these, what I like about it is we have these brief explanations here. The Roman canon is of ancient origin, going back to the 5th century and even beyond in its primitive form, so on and so forth. Then let's take a look at Rite 2. Because of its brevity, concise language, clear concepts, it should be, used for vigil masses or after long homilies or whatever else. Then Rite 3 and Rite 4 in its entirety. Okay. Then we can see here morning prayer and evening prayer. Though not in any, I guess it's in week 1 for Sunday, it seems. What I would have liked to have seen, if I were designing this book a little bit differently, I would have taken away some sections, and I would have given you what would have been really nice was the 4-week Psalter, plug Christian prayer, shorter Christian prayer right in here. And there you have it. But instead, we get some other prayers. If Catholic Book Publishing is watching this, make a new edition of this book, have the order of Mass, have shorter Christian prayer. You have the rights to both, and get rid of or modify some of the other prayers. That would be, wow, that would be a book. We have the rite of penance, all kinds of prayers in here. Prayers from the liturgy. Let's see what this is. Well, that's the chapter, right? But we can see here these different prayers. Prayer after death, etc. Now I'm going to show you something I think is controversial, but could have been redone to be a little bit more appropriate. Okay, so prayers from other religions. Protestant and Orthodox Christians. Jewish religion. Religions from the Americas. Some strange-looking art of a generic Protestant minister and an Orthodox bishop. Maybe that's St. Nicholas. Who knows? So we can see here credits to where these prayers come from. Federal Council of Churches, United States of America. Prayer of the Faithful, Order of Worship, Consultation on Church Union. Okay, so some of these are a little bit more ecumenical. Maybe multiple faiths use them. Episcopal Church, Proposed Book of Common Prayer, page 101. Lutheran Church. Methodist Church. French Reformed Church, which I didn't even know. Is this the same thing as the church that John Calvin founded in Geneva, Switzerland? I don't know. Reformed Church in America. Swiss Reformed Church. I guess that would be it. Byzantine Liturgy. Keep some of these things in mind. Coptic Liturgy. Jacobite Church. Liturgy of St. James. The Eastern Liturgy of St. John Chrysostom. Moravian Church. Nestorian Church. Syrian Clementine or Clementine Church. Syrian Church. Ulrich Zwingli. Martin Luther. Miles covered. I feel he's a very good translator of prayers and books and things like that. Philip Melanchthon, John Knox, John Calvin, John Norden, Lancelot Andrewes. I like Lancelot Andrewes, but something I'll point out here about Lancelot Andrewes, I am 99% sure that a prayer of all hours is originally St. John Chrysostom, but Lancelot Andrewes copied it into his private devotions. I don't know. William Laud, Kamensky, Jeremy Taylor, Patrick Simon, John Wesley, blah, 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 blah. And then we get to, Kierkegaard, right? Let's go to Jewish religion, right? Early morning blessings, prayers from the Shema, the Kaddish, worker of wonders, unfailing mercies, so on and so forth, evening prayer, Greek Jewish philosopher Philo, Dead Sea Scrolls. Then we get to these Native American prayers, unknown, Blackfoot, Aztec, Apache. Notice here it says inspiration, or no, excuse me, inscription. Sorry. Delaware Indian prayer, Incan prayer, Iroquois, Lakota Sioux, so on and so forth. United Nations, but I don't know how this is Native American. But my problems, plural, with this prayers from other religions are a few fold. Problem the first. We have the Eastern Catholic Churches. I think we should have renamed this section prayers from other rites of the church. And you could have kept the Liturgy of St. John Chrysostom, the Coptic Liturgy, all these Eastern liturgies, the Liturgy of St. James. Take ownership of these liturgies as Catholics. We also have the Ordinariate. We could have said prayers from ancient Western traditions, or prayers from the English-speaking church, or whatever. And I don't think there would have been necessarily a problem with, say, William Laud, or Lancelot Andrewes, or Jeremy Taylor, or, these other English Anglicans who had a fairly identical, I shouldn't say identical, but a fairly lowercase o orthodox understanding of the doctrine of the church, affirming the real presence, affirming the Immaculate Conception, affirming liturgical prayer, affirming ornate decoration of the church building, etc. But including Luther and Zwingli and Calvin and John Knox is almost like saying, you know what, you win, you're right, you have a point, we'll conform. I don't think that we should make the Protestant churches our enemy. I believe that, we should pray for the unity of the church and find it under the one true church. And I pray for the conversion of the church, that is the people in it. But saying, yeah, this is okay. People to deny the Immaculate Conception, people to deny the real presence, people to deny the seven sacraments, people to deny and I think the papacy, right, is obviously a, no pun intended, key component of the church. But you can have valid sacraments a la the Orthodox Church without the Pope. There is something to say about apostolic succession, which people like Zwingli and Calvin and so on reject, right? So, and then the prayers from the Americas, there are a number of Native American saints and venerables and servants of God, right? Who are like Saint Kateri, who, they are Native. We could have used prayers from them, right? I think that this was a missed opportunity, and that's a shame, right? Now, to be on a more positive note, I know I've been bashing this book a little bit. Let's go to that. I really like these seasonal prayers, prayers in accord with the church year: Advent, Christmas, Lent, Easter, Ordinary Time, monthly, daily prayers, right? So if we take a look at let's look at Lent, since we're in Lent, right? Christmas, we're not in Christmas. Let's go to Lent. Okay, Lent, Easter. All right, here's a brief description of what Lent is like and what we should do to prepare for it, etc. And then we have these prayers that are specific to Lent. And, you could repeat these throughout the 40 days of Lent, or pray multiple in Lent and whatever. And I think that that's very nice. I also like the monthly devotions, right? March for St. Joseph, April for the Holy Eucharist. I bet June is the Sacred Heart. Yes, it is. What a surprise. August, the Immaculate Heart of Mary, Precious Blood, etc., etc. And, this is great. Maybe every Sunday or every day you could pray these prayers in conjunction with these weekly or days of the week devotions, right? So, Sunday is the Holy Trinity. Monday is Holy Spirit. Tuesday, Angels and Saints. Wednesday, St. Joseph, etc., etc. This goes back a long way in the church, and you'd be, practicing quite a traditional devotion here. We also have these brief, like we'll call them arrow prayers, to Jesus, Trinity, acts of the Holy Trinity, of the Holy Spirit, etc., etc. I think that this book, again, it hits, it hits, or what am I trying to say? It's a good book, right? But there are some shortcomings right? I would have liked to have seen, like I said, a combination of the ordinary of the Mass and shorter Christian prayer in one book. Wow. You could use that literally every single day and keep it home and bring it to church. And I think and some of the propers would have been in there as well. That would have been really cool. But, it's got the imprimatur, right? Which means that a bishop approved it. It means that it's got valuable and truthful information in it, though I don't know I don't know how those Protestant and native prayers got approved in it. Maybe I'm being a little bit too scrupulous, but that's just me. You can pick it up on Amazon, or you can pick it up on Catholic Book. Thank you, Dale, for pointing this book's existence out to me. I would say that it's worth looking into. Someone on Dale's channel said that it was a slow burn, that they felt that they were hardly using it, and then they were using it, all of it, like every day, which is cool. Not enough ribbons. Quality construction, though. Okay, so the cover's good, and the binding is like, all right, it'll last you, but, thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Take care, and God bless.